Hey there, Teresa Timms, president of TDR Mortgage and a Real Estate Group. I am thrilled to share with you my top spots, my favorite locations of affordable areas to purchase in the Inland Empire. All of the areas that I'm going to be sharing with you today will qualify for buyer programs, first time buyer programs, which are all right up my alley since I've been doing home loans since 1998. So let's get started. Well, number one on my list is the Upland Rancho Cucamonga area. The Upland area doesn't have quite as much inventory, so I almost didn't even have it on the list. But, this is a really, really charming community. A lot of 40s, 50s, and 60 homes, big lots, nice neighbors, close to transportation. It gets really great walking scores, especially the downtown area. There's condo inventory, single family inventory. So it's close to the mountains, close to Mount Baldy, an hour from the beach, an hour from downtown LA, which you can access from public transportation. The train stations is right in downtown Upland. So Upland, what a wonderful place to buy. Oh yeah, if you hear a dog, that's Minnie Lou being obnoxious. I probably should have. Minnie! Anyway, she's messing with my flow right now. My other favorite area is Rancho Cucamonga, of course. I own investment property there. It's such a well-kept, clean community. It has a lot of nice, newer inventory. It also has a lot of affordable, older inventory. That 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, family neighborhoods, really great schools in Rancho Cucamonga. Again, that same community feel, the mountains, the beach is an hour away, LA is an hour away, a lot of great public transportation. So it is number 2 on my list of top affordable areas that you can purchase in the Inland Empire. Number 3, North Ontario. I love North Ontario for its proximity to Upland and Claremont. I mean, you can't beat the proximity and affordability that this area provides. I have lots of friends and family that live in the area, that their kids have grown up, and North Ontario is so beautiful and charming. It reminds me of South Pasadena or Pasadena. Really mature tree-lined streets. The inventory is fantastic. It has that 3-bedroom, 2-bath is most common, although they do have 4 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, which obviously would be more affordable. But it has designated historic districts that have standards set for what you can do to a house, which keeps that authentic, charming feel. A lot of Spanish inventory, stucco. So it's just a wonderful community, and it's high on my list of affordable places to purchase in the Inland Empire. Number 4, well, Riverside. I mean, Riverside is just a hotbed of affordability and has been a go-to for many people looking to purchase in Orange County, but just simply find that Orange County is not affordable. So it's very common that people that work in Orange County will purchase in the Corona Riverside area. Downtown Riverside has this wonderful, charming feel, lots of great restaurants, cool nightlife, theater. It's got that vintagey charm. They have farmers markets on the weekends. The Mission Inn is there. And if you've never been to the Mission Inn at Christmas, well, I don't know where you've been, but you need to get your butt over there this year or whatever year and go experience the Mission Inn at Christmas time. It's really, really something special. In Riverside, I like the downtown area for its affordability. I also like the Rupa Valley Harupa Valley is a newer designation. You know, Riverside is huge. It has so many different little communities. And while there are certain areas that I prefer in terms of affordability, I like the Harupa Valley. I like the Harupa Valley for its proximity to a lot of the freeways, the 60, the 91. It has a feel where people are very active. There's a river that runs through it, and there's a hiking nearby, Mount Rubidoux, really, really cool area. People park. I can't believe how crowded that park or that it gets to park, and the people that hike that daily. It's a really special place, and that's why it's so popular. So, Harupa Valley, downtown Riverside for affordability in Southern California. Uh, Next on the list is Corona. So, Corona has some pretty pricey inventory. It's on par and in some areas higher than the Rancho Cucamonga price point. However, there's a little hidden gem called Horse Thief Canyon. Horse Thief Canyon is known for the we're talking affordability, so it has larger square footage than what you can normally get. It has newer inventory, and a lot of people don't know this, but they had Melrose, which are extra taxes put on properties for infrastructure development in newer communities. That's why if you buy a newer property, the taxes are higher because the builders have to put into reinvestment in the community, and they can't pay all of that themselves. And so it gets added on through bond measures and is something called Melrose, which is really, in layman's term, higher taxes. Horse Thief Canyon, just the Melrose just fell off the fell off. So they don't have that anymore. So it's a really, really great. It's really family, really quiet, really quaint, but you're going to have that 90s inventory where you're going to have that nice square footage and that community feel, family feel type of neighborhoods. The next is Temecula Valley. I cannot tell you how in love I am with Temecula. The people, the amenities, the things to do. The wine region there is really growing. And while it used to uh, I don't want to say people made fun of it, but you know, the wines were newer, the winemakers were newer, the wineries were newer. But now we've got some age going into that valley, and there's some really special properties down there if you've got a lot of money to spend. But on the affordability scale, my favorite area of the Temecula Valley is going to be Menifee. You are going to find some really great neighborhoods, some varied neighborhoods in there. You are going to find, you know, your cookie cutter track homes, which are very desirable, newer, good square footage, and really, really great prices. I mean, I think that it's one of the more undervalued areas. Like, I still can't believe what you could get for the price. And Menifee is the more affordable city, but it's really special. It's so pretty, especially the part that borders French Valley. There's a lot of newer inventory, and there's also unique inventory where you can score some really great stuff on acreage. 1 acres, 2 acres, 3 acreage for surprisingly, and I'm talking surprisingly low prices. We've done a lot of financing for our clients in those communities, and every time we get something accepted and I get the appraisal in, I'm pretty much floored for what you're able to get in the area in Menifee for affordability. Next is going to be San Bernardino. San Bernardino has long been a bastion of affordability. San Bernardino has a reputation of not being that great of an area, to be frank with you. So when recommending this area, like all areas, there are some that are worse than others. San Bernardino is one of the most affordable places that you can move next to, you know, the high desert or Hemet. I like San Bernardino because I like the San Bernardino that is nearest the 210 corridor. What a great spot. You can get something super affordable and then be over in Rancho area in like 13, 14 minutes. So with no traffic, of course, right? Traffic being the exception. The areas that I like are primarily North San Bernardino, the areas by Cal State, San Bernardino, the university. I mean, there's some really, really great newer inventory over there by the Devore area. And it's right up by the mountains. So it's very, very picturesque and extremely affordable. Then you're going to go to the North San Bernardino area by the country club. And man, this area is, I've seen some property over there. I'm more of a Rancho girl. I don't like to be over in San Bernardino, but one thing I can tell you, if that's all I can afford, I would be buying a house in San Bernardino. And I would really try to look at the areas closest to the country club. There's some really special homes over there. I really like the mid-century modern stuff that they have. That's really, really special. But mostly what you're going to find in that area is like the 50s and 60s inventory, the craftsman style stuff. There's not as much Spanish stuff over there, but there is. But I'm like in love with that area. Like tree-lined, mature streets, nice family neighborhoods. The other area that I think is really super cool, it's below the 210. It's an area, and I don't know the exact name of the neighborhood, but it's over by St. Bernardine's Hospital. Like I went over to the hospital one time, and that's how I discovered it. And I was really impressed and have since done many loans and many purchases for first-time buyers in that area. Really, really great area. So keep your eyes peeled on those incredible, valued neighborhoods in North San Bernardino. Next on the list is the high desert. So to live in the high desert, you have to be able to put up with the drive. For some people, it's not that big of a deal. For others, it is a big deal. So when you have a job in San Bernardino, Riverside, Corona, or even Los Angeles or Orange County, believe it or not, people do buy up in the high desert when they live or they work in Orange County or LA. There's only one way in and one way out. So when there's a bad accident, when there's weather, weather happens because it's a mountain pass. You go through the mountains to get to the high desert, hence the high desert. And there's a lot of really cool communities up there. Now, if you work in the high desert, then the high desert is your oyster and you just, live wherever you want to live. Most people are going to be commuting. So I really like Hesperia for the fact that it's right off the freeway. It's one of the closest cities besides Oak Hills that's right off the freeway, but it's still close to services, a lot of newer inventory there. Your cookie cutter track homes where they're the big square footage. And we're talking like 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3 car garage, 8,000 lot, nice newer neighborhoods built in the 2000s, even 2008s, 2010s. Super, super crazy affordable. And then you have the really cool like mini ranch homes where literally you've got an acre or 2 acres of property. You've got a 2,000 square foot home that's newer. Maybe it's a 90s, 80s, maybe it's even a 70s house. There's a big variance of style and types of housing in the Hesperia market that I like it. I just like it. It's a really great community. The other area in the high desert, this is kind of like off the beaten path. It's an area called Pinion Hills. So you don't just and people don't drive through it very often. So it's kind of like people don't know about it. But it's desert, but up closest to the mountains. It's really, really close to the mountains. So it doesn't get quite as hot. It gets snow, when it's cooler. There's a lot of unique properties up there. You don't find much of the track housing so much as you find smaller custom homes on acreage or acres or 2 acres or 3 acres. You find a lot of housing that manufactured, how does it go? Manufactured on permanent foundation. There we go. Manufactured on mobile on a permanent foundation. And you can get financing, buyer financing for that, super affordable. So a lot of people, let's say you have a lot of pets, you have horses, pets, I don't know, goats, sheep, dogs, maybe you raise dogs or whatever, or maybe you're just a dog person, you got 10 dang dogs. Well, then you probably want to be in Pinion Hills. They're very animal forward, and you can get a lot of property there for a very, very reasonable price. Next on my list of the high desert, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Oak Hills. That is one of the premier areas of the high desert. And when you think of that area, you don't really think of, the high desert. It's very common in Oak Hills. You can't have lots smaller than 2.5 acres. It's not multifamily. It's like single family. And you have these big ranch style, beautiful custom homes. Gorgeous, like 3,000, 4,000 square foot custom homes, 3-4 car garages, circle drive, horse rail fencing on this 2.5 acre parcel, RV parking, outbuildings. Really, really nice property for pretty amazing prices. And a lot of the properties have views because it's very mountainous. Close by the mountains, it also gets snow. So that should be on your list if you're looking for that type of a property at an affordable price. Last but not least, it's almost kind of like an honorable mention for me because I'm not a huge fan of Hemet per se. However, there are a lot of unique properties out there on land, large lots, there's a lot of nice housing inventory. It's just kind of, it's just like right off the 215 corridor. So it's you have to travel a little bit for services, but I cannot believe how affordable Hemet is. When I get somebody looking for a home and they tell me they want, this ridiculous price, I always ask them, well, how do you feel about the high desert? How do you feel about Hemet? If it's a really ridiculous price, I might say, how do you feel about living in Barstow? But this Hemet area, it affords a very, very nice level of housing, inventory at very low rates. And it's something that you should keep your eye out because I believe in home ownership. I believe in creating wealth through home ownership. And I believe in get in where you fit in kind of a thing. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Inland Empire, I'm your girl. You need to pick up the phone and give Teresa Timms, SoCalLoanPro.com a call at 909-920-3500. I cannot wait to hear from you. We're going to stop this right now.